If you think that football is the only sport you can bet on because it's the only sport that you know, I'm here to help you and show you how to use your football betting knowledge and transfer the skills that you already have to start gambling on other sports.
Whether you're an absolute beginner or a frequent gambler, it's always worth reading the tips from our expert writers on our site first, before you deposit any money. This will give you a more in-depth view on each sport and how you can start your betting journey. This will ensure you're confident in what you're betting on, based on statistics and cold, hard facts, rather than what your heart is telling you to place a bet on. It's all about strategy. So let's break it down. Firstly, the basics. No matter what the sport, betting is about understanding the odds and making educated predictions. Whether that's a football match, golf, boxing, or tennis, the same principles apply. In football, you're already looking for potential match outcomes, form, tactics, injury news. All of that is universal. So don't be scared about venturing into a new sport. Look at it the same you would football. The secret sauce to betting is value. Can you spot where you think the bookies might be underestimating something? We see it time and time again in the world of boxing, where the underdog has come out on top, defying the odds at the bookmakers and making a lot of sports bettors very happy or unhappy, depending on who you put your money on. All right, so now you feel a little bit more confident, it's time to talk strategy. In football, you're probably familiar with taking all the variables into account. Say, for example, you're betting on tennis. Instead of focusing on a specific team, you're going to want to focus on a player's form, recent injuries, and recent performance on different surfaces. You wouldn't bet on a team that struggles playing away from home, and the same logic applies here. You maybe wouldn't bet on a player who's recently struggled playing on grass surfaces. Adapt your strategies and you'll be on the way to mastering multiple sports in no time. But of course, each sport is different and you can't just copy and paste your football knowledge, but you do have a head start. Learning the specifics for each sport is easier when you know the fundamentals of betting. This also means you can spend a little bit more time watching new sports, and that's never a bad thing. My advice is to focus on what specific things in that particular sport drive an outcome. For example, in golf, you'd want to look at players' previous form around that particular course. Keep an eye on weather conditions as well, because that can play a key part in the outcome of the day. And take a look how a golfer performs under pressure. Have they got a track record of delivering on day 4 of a major, or do they do better when the pressure is off on day 1 of a smaller event? Okay, final tips to take your multi-sport betting knowledge to the next level. Start with sports you're already familiar in, even if you don't already bet on them. Keep yourself up to date with sports news. Player injuries, suspensions, and form streaks have an impact on all sports, just like football. And remember, you don't have to stick to just one market. You can explore set betting in tennis, method of victory in boxing, or how many wickets an individual bowler might take in cricket. And don't forget in-play betting once an event has already started, which is always really, really fun.
And lastly, practice a bit of patience. Learning each sport's ins and outs is going to help you and it will pay off in the long run.